Hey everyone, welcome to From Dusk Till Dawn. My name's Steve, and in today's video I'm going to be taking you through some of the pickups that I've made of the last few weeks. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm not going to spend too long talking about this first title that I've picked up. It is Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, and this is the collector's edition from Lionsgate. So I did a whole unboxing and review on this. I'll link that in the description of this video. So if you are interested in finding out my thoughts and what is actually contained in this set, please check that video out. So I already did a video on some of the pickups that I made while I was away in America earlier this summer. On the last day there, I went into a Walmart for some final supplies. It was actually one of the better stock Walmarts for physical media, and they had some of their exclusive editions in there. So these were only $9 each, and so I picked up Army of Darkness and Gremlins 2 on Blu-ray. These are special glow-in-the-dark slip editions. So yes, they're films that I've got before, double dips, but $9 each, and you get quite a funky slipcover with them. So I picked those up. But one that I was looking out for, and very fortunate to find it, it's their exclusive slip of Jaws. Look at that. Nice foil sort of neon effect on the slipcover there. Inside it's just the bog standard Amaray, and it's on Blu-ray, and of course we've got some wonderful 4K editions of Jaws, but it is my favourite film, so I wasn't going to pass this one up, so I'm really chuffed to have got this from Walmart. So on to a few sort of odds and sods really that I picked up. Eureka have been putting out some really good editions of late. Last year they put out the Martyrs 4K, which was one of my releases of the year. It's a really good edition. And they've continued to do that. They've got some great ones coming out as well. But a recent release from them that I've picked up is Madhouse, starring Vincent Price and Peter Cushing. This is an old 70s film. It's reasonably campy, as you would expect, but it's got a nice cruel streak in it as well. And seeing Vincent Price in that makeup, it's pretty iconic. The Dr. Death makeup there. So this was a lot of fun. I think this was, again, somewhere around £18. So that's Madhouse from Eureka. Also out this month is a really rather nice steelbook of Beverly Hills Cop. The original 1984 Beverly Hills Cop. Just open this out just so you can see what the steelbook's actually like there. And hopefully you're catching up with the spot glossing that's on there. So the actual art of Axel Foley and the car is spot glossed, as is that image on the back there. Sadly, I didn't spend much money designing the artwork for the discs, but you can't have everything. But really pleased to have got this, and hopefully they will release parts 2 and 3 as well. And who knows, maybe even Axel F. Another one that's slightly off the norm that I picked up earlier in the year, The Thing Expanded was released, which was a 5.5-hour documentary on The Thing. Creative VC, the company that produced that I think it was last year, might even have been the year before, produced the Aliens on Expanded, and they did a reprint of that. So I have that picked up as well on Blu-ray in a really nice solid slip box there. The only problem is, I don't know if you can see there, but whether the person who's putting these slip cases together was drunk on this day, but that is really not level, which is one of those sorts of things that really kind of annoys you. Once you notice it, you can't not notice that there's only a little gap there and a big gap there. But it's a nice cover, a little bit of spot glossing on there, and I think this is about four hours or so of information on the making of Aliens and lots of stories from cast and crew. So looking forward to getting into that. So one of the new boutique labels that came out, I think it was the end of last year, or it might even have been the very beginning of this year, 2026, was Transmission, which is a sub-label of Radiance. The first title they put out was Night of the Juggler, and that 4K set is fantastic. It really is. And in a similar vein, a title that they just put out is a film that launched 1,000 memes, Vampire's Kiss, starring Nicolas Cage. So again, it's in one of these lovely hardbox editions. So you get Nice slipcase, slip box there. Everyone's seen that image of Nicolas Cage doing the bug eyes there. This is a film that I think is actually really funny. I know that a lot of people are not that keen on it because it's full unhinged Nick Cage, but I kind of like that. But in this set you get your 4K and Blu-ray in a slip, a normal Amore case there, and just on the back another fairly iconic Nick Cage pose. And along with it you get a set of art cards. I think there's 6 of those. Nice booklet. We're all familiar with those for anyone who collects Arrow or any other kind of collector's edition, really. And also in here there is a poster. Now, again, I've said these sets, I think they're fantastic. They're kind of based on Vinegar Syndrome sets with the way that you get the slipcover on an Amore. Not quite on a par with Vinegar Syndrome, but they're really, really good. And these are $29.99. So they're actually cheaper than a lot of the Arrow sets. And they do have the 4K and a Blu-ray, and the transfer on this one is actually pretty good. So that is Vampire's Kiss from Transmission. Moving on to Arrow Video now. I have 3 titles that I picked up from them. They are 4Ks of To Live and Die in LA from William Friedkin, Michael Douglas in Falling Down, and a classic sci-fi from the 70s, Soylent Green, starring Charlton Heston. I've seen all 3 of these titles, checked out all of them. I think the Falling Down 4K is probably the best one out of the bunch, although Soylent Green looks good, and you know, William Friedkin never shot a bad film in my estimation. And this revisiting To Live and Die in LA was a really good time. But they're all really, really solid films. It was a first time watch for Soylent Green for me. I'd never seen it before. It's a really interesting premise, set in the future of 2022. We were pretty close to this, although maybe not to actually having Soylent Green ourselves, but who knows what will happen. But that's a good solid 70s sci-fi number from Charlton Heston. As I say, Falling Down, I haven't seen this film in decades, it seems. I don't even think I had a copy on VHS or DVD or Blu-ray, so I've got nothing to compare this to, but it looks great on 4K, and it's a really good story. Michael Douglas is tremendous in this. It's on a first-time watch, you kind of feel for his character a little bit up to a point, and then you realise just what he's like, and it is a great performance from him. Another one of those films, given the recent heatwave that we've had in the UK, this is another one that makes you feel that hot, sweaty kind of feeling. So it was perfect to watch there. And again, as I said with this, To Live and Die in LA is just one of the best 80s thrillers. It's got some fantastic car chases in it, some fantastic foot chases. It's got some shocking moments of really brutal violence, but it's just all around great performances from William Peterson, a really young looking Willem Dafoe as well. Yeah, pick of the bunch for me, To Live and Die in LA. So another boutique label that I absolutely love and just keeps going from strength to strength. They can literally do no wrong in my eyes. Is Second Sight, and so this month I picked up The Name of the Rose, starring Sean Connery. This is the Jean-Jacques Arnaud film from 1986. Just look at that artwork on the box there. It's just a lovely addition. It's the story of a 14th century friar, Sean Connery, who he's basically like Hercule Poirot. This is basically a 14th century Agatha Christie whodunit. It's got some brilliant performances in. This 4K is absolutely unbelievable. It is a really, really good transfer. It's a film that does keep you guessing. It's got some absolutely grotesque characters in it. And again, really young Christian Slater. I think he was 15 when he made this. And there's a couple of scenes in there that you think, no 15-year-old would be doing that these days. But probably the key performance in here, apart from Sean Connery, it looks like he's having the time of his life. This was a real kind of return to form for Sean Connery. I think he was in a bit of a wilderness around this time. I think, sort of Highlander had come out, but he was didn't know where his career was going. And then he did this, then did The Untouchables and won an Academy Award, and there was no looking back. Best performance in here for my money is definitely Ron Perlman. He is terrific, and almost unrecognisable under the makeup. There's some really good subtle makeups in here that make people look just horrible. So that's The Name of the Rose from Second Sight. And they also released one of my favourite British films ever, one of my favourite revenge films ever, Dead Man's Shoes. This is from Shane Meadows. He is such a good director at capturing a certain slice of life in the UK, in England. If you've seen This Is England and the This Is England series, it's very, very similar. You're kind of embedded with characters and you really get to know about them. You do in this one. It's quite a simple revenge tale, it seems, at first. But it's so much more than that. I'm not going to tell you too much about the film because it is, apart from to say, if you haven't seen it, watch it. And if you have seen it, watch it again. This set is another one that, just look at that artwork. This is one of the best looking sets from Second Sight. That's such an iconic image from the film, which is Paddy Considine in the gas mask. And again, you get all the usual bells and whistles from Second Sight. So we've got a media book, not a media book, beg your pardon, digipack for the Blu-ray, and this is a Blu-ray only. It was going to be a 4K, but unfortunately the original elements just weren't good enough to pull a 4K transfer from it. I can't actually imagine that this would look any better in 4K than it does on the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is outstanding. We're also getting a graphic novel of Dead Man's Shoes, and of course we get standard kind of Second Sight book that accompanies these releases, with tales of making of and articles about the film, and there's some more of that wonderful artwork on the back there. It really is an amazing set, and of course you get the art cards. I've got no doubt that when we come to the year end, this is going to be one of my releases of the year. So that is the Blu-ray of Dead Man's Shoes from Second Sight. So the last title I picked up, where do we start with this one? There's been so much that's already been said on YouTube, so I'll try and keep it brief. It's the 4K of 30 Days of Night. So, where do we begin? So much has been said about this release. Like I said, the price was the first thing that everybody commented on. This release is £50, and it is the only release at the moment that you can get of this film in 4K. Now, 30 Days of Night, I think, is a fantastic vampire film. It's a fantastic comic book film. It's got a brilliant premise that we're in an Alaskan town that suffers, well, it doesn't suffer, but it is without daylight for a month through winter. So vampires can have free reign. What a brilliant concept. And the film is really, really good. It's a good, solid, different take on a vampire film. Josh Hartnett's fine in it. He plays his usual sort of character in there, but Danny Huston as the lead vamp is really chilling in it. And the vampire designs are really good. There's something a little bit different. This 4K release, as I said, comes only in this collector's edition, which was quite expensive. It comes with a steelbook, which is lovely. The steelbook is lovely. Look at the artwork on that. Really, really nice. That artwork is so good, in fact, that it is exactly the same as the slip. And we get it on the poster inside as well. And we also get a little booklet, which is fine. It's fine. A couple of articles in there, stuff on the makeup, which, is, I've mentioned before, makeup stuff is really up my street. Love it. The packaging is really poor. This is no different to the slip covers that you get on these Arrow releases, which are bog standard slip covers. You would expect for something like this that you would have the harder box, a bit like the Scream Factory boxes that are on the old Halloween releases, that kind of a thing. So yeah, the packaging isn't great, but the film, the 4K transfer, this should be just absolute. This is a film made for 4K. It is shot, like I say, it's a comic book. It takes place at night, so those black levels will be really, really good. You have got the stark whiteness of snow, the very pale vampires. You've got flashes of red because there's loads of blood in this film. And the 4K transfer, it's not the worst that I've seen. But what a disappointment. It's just really hugely disappointing, this release. And then when you combine it with its price tag, yeah, I would, even if you're a fan of this one, if you've got the old Blu-ray, I'm hearing that is the best version of it. Stick to that, save you 50 quid. What's really bad is that apparently an Amaray version of this is coming out now. So I imagine that will be around the £25 mark, maybe 30. So you didn't have to spend £50 in the first place. Keith over at Euphoria Pictures did a really good video on this. Goes into it in a lot more detail. I will link to his video. That's a really good barometer to judge whether you want to buy this. I'm in two minds whether to keep it. I've not got it on any other format, so I probably will. But chances are I'll probably watch the Blu-ray. So that is the 4K of 30 Days of Night. And that's my pickups from the last few weeks. I have got a fairly mixed bag in there. Let me know what you think of any of those titles if you've got them. Particularly interested in hearing your thoughts on Name of the Rose and Dead Man's Shoes, because I think they're probably my favourite releases out of all of these pickups. Again, the Arrow releases I thought were great. Let me know what you think on those, because I know a lot of people have picked up Falling Down, definitely. But if you picked up To Live and Die in LA, talk to me about that. I want to hear your opinions on it. As I say, Kill Bill is on its separate video, and 30 Days of Night, I think we've probably taught that to death. But again, let me know your thoughts on that, because I know that it's quite an emotive subject for a lot of people. But I'd love to hear what you think about Icon's price point for that against the quality of the release that they put out, and then the fact that apparently there is a more standard edition that is coming. So please let me know. But I think that will about do it for this video. I should have an umbrella delivery arriving probably in the next week, and I do want to get another deep dive video out, so keep your eye out for that. Thanks to everybody who has subscribed recently and commented. Again, it's brilliant hearing from you guys. I love getting stuck into the comment section. Again, just keep it kind, keep it polite. We can all have disagreements, but you know, let's do it like grown-ups. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching from This Till Dawn. My name's Steve, and I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Well, what do we do?
Why don't we just wait here for a little while? See what happens.